Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So it's officially like December, which means Christmas is coming and 2022 is going to be over soon. So I wanted to do like a wrap-up video of this year of things that I'm proud of, because this year has been amazing for me. But it's also really scary and daunting. Like, I have never done such big things in my life before, but I'm glad that I did. So I'll be sharing 10 things that I'm proud of in 2022. Number one is actually architecturally related. It's the staircase model I made. So I actually made a vlog about that, like the processes and everything. So if you want to watch that, I'll put the link somewhere up here or in the description below. But it's like the biggest model I've ever made, and it's like the kind of most challenging model I've ever made because it involves like curves and everything, and using like software to kind of draw that up and then laser cut it, which is kind of my weakness, the software part. So I'm kind of proud of myself for stepping out of my comfort zone, and I've done that model. Number two is actually a really nice thing. Like, I'm really super proud of that. So me and my friend started a podcast. It's both in Cantonese and English. We started that in July. It was like a really random thought. Like, we were just chatting and it's like, let's start a podcast. And I was like, okay, let's do it. And then we work on really well, and like it was really efficiently done. Like, we opened emails, we set up pages and things like that, and the flow was just really fluent. So we managed to upload like one episode every week, and I think it's going strong. Like, it's not like wow, it blew up or anything, but it's something that we're both really proud of because it's kind of like our baby. Third on the list is like a big thing, and it's like graduating. Like, that totally blew my mind away because it's like my whole life I've been trying to build this kind of nice background or nice academic record so I can get into a good uni, so I can graduate. And I've done it. And it feels oddly weird after you've worked so hard for so long for something, and then it just goes like poof, it's done. Now what, you know? But it's also really cool to be able to wear that robe, walk that stage, get that graduation cap. It's definitely like a highlight, and it's kind of like also like a representation of all my hard work into uni, and like all my all-nighters and all my blood, sweat, and tears is recognized. Number four is definitely like my personal favorite. So I got my first ever vinyl record, and it's a Taylor Swift vinyl record. Like, what more can I ask? So I started getting like this feeling for vinyl records because it feels very aesthetic and it's really cool. And my landlord, which I'm living with now, has like a stereo. So usually when I like to look at vinyls before, it's just for aesthetic purposes, like decoration, because I can actually play it. But then now that I can play it, it just brings the whole thing to another level. So I have been trying to collect more vinyl records. Got like a second one, which is a 1975 one. It's Being Funny in a Foreign Language. It's my second vinyl. I totally love it. It just feels so different on a stereo. But yeah, I think that is a big achievement for me. Number five on the list is, wow, like a really hard one, and it's landing a job. So I tried to apply for jobs so I can, like, you know, be able to work after uni, but like applying is not actually the hardest part. It's like the mental battle you have with yourself of like self-doubt and like not fear of not getting a job and not being good enough, and like if you get rejected, it's like they're rejecting you, like as a person as a whole. It's like your whole identity. It's just like a really hard thing to keep, you know, under control, and just tell yourself it's not your fault, or they're not rejecting you. Even if they do reject your job application, you know, it's not like they think you're a terrible person. Probably it's because they don't think you might be the right fit for the company, which is always fine because not everyone fits in like everywhere. So I'm really glad I landed this job where I'm working now. Is the perfect place. Everyone's so helpful, so nice, and I'm so grateful. Number 6 is also super daunting for me. So once I've accepted like this job offer, which is like totally away from Manchester, I moved kind of like alone to a completely foreign place, like a small town. And then I go and work in this new place, but also live in this new place with new people. And like I'm totally disconnected, like physically, with all my friends back in Manchester, or my parents, or like friends back at home. So it's like I'm in this totally new and foreign environment again. Like I was really paranoid I won't be able to make any friends. I'll be really lonely, really sad. But like I have never been happier in my entire life. Like really in my entire life than that period of time. Everything was so good. It was way out of my expectation. Everyone was friendly, helpful, kind to me. And it just made me feel like maybe stepping out of my comfort zone, even if it's scary, really does work. Like it just made me believe in all these possibilities, and honestly it's very inspirational suddenly. Like it's just it's something I'm proud of. Number 7 is really daunting. Like I'm glad I've done it, but I'm also glad that it's over and it's traveling alone. Like traveling alone has always been like a scary thought for me, especially as a girl, because I'm kind of like tiny. So I'm kind of worried like I will be the target of something unfortunate. And yeah, so I've never actually thought about going traveling alone. But I was discussing with my friends one day, or like about what to do for my holidays, and my friends like, "Why don't you go travel alone?" And it just hit me like, yeah, why don't I go traveling alone? It's like I should go and not let my fears like hinder me. But then I also have to be aware of all my surroundings and be really cautious because I'm alone. So I have to be like responsible for my own things and things like that. There's nobody for me to count on or rely on. So that made me quite anxious, and I feel like because I'm quite anxious about the fact that I'm alone, like my personal safety or the safety of my belongings, that I can't enjoy the trip as much as I would have if I went with like a friend. So I'm glad I went. It's like an experience as well to be able to do what you want on your own without having to wait for somebody to do it with you. And also Venice was amazing. I loved it. Like it's so pretty. I'm so glad I went, but I think next time I would have gone with a friend maybe. Number 8 on the list is like super recent, and it's completing my first PDR sheets. So PDR sheets is actually like a record of my professional experience of being a Part 1 architectural assistant, and I have to submit back to Reba as like a record, and I have to fill them in like quarterly. But I kind of procrastinated and filled in almost at the last kind of minute, metaphorically. So it was really stressful because it was really rushed, and I kind of underestimated the amount that I have to fill in. So next time I will be doing that way earlier because now I've learned my lesson and I don't want to feel that stress again. But it's also like a massive achievement for me. It's my first ever PDR sheets, and it's also kind of allowed me to reflect on what I've worked on for the past 3 months. And honestly it's amazing because I've touched so many projects, even if it's not in depth. But I really like that I get the variety of hours across all the work stages, which kind of broadened my eyesight so much within the architectural industry. Number 9 is that I actually wrote a few songs that I'm quite proud of. I don't think like it's ever going to become like produced songs and like out into streaming platforms or anything, but it's just when I felt like really sad or really lonely or angry, I just like I have a ukulele, so I just played like a melody with the only few chords that I know of, and then just started writing. But I'm actually glad that I actually get to finish the songs, because I think in the past I've just wrote like 1 verse or 2 verse and then that's it. But now I've actually persisted and tried to finish the song. But it's just really cool. Like it's like a new process that I've never tried before, musical things, musical creativity, and like releasing your emotions into a song. Now I get why it's so fun. Number 10 is Like, I'm so excited because I did not know that I actually read this much, but I read 10 books this year, which I was like, when I opened my Goodreads, I was like, wow, for me, that's a lot. So I kind of like read 10 books, and honestly, I am happy about that. Although I put my goal to be 20 books, so we only technically reached like 50% of what we should have. But I'm actually glad that given that there's so much going on this year, there's so much new things that's coming into my life. There's so many new things that I've tried. Like, I still try to find time to read, that I've managed to finish 10 books. So I'm kind of happy about that. But yeah, I haven't done book review in a while. I don't know if you're interested about the books I'm reading, or if you want like a book review of the stuff that I've read in 2022. Do let me know, and I might do like a book wrap-up video, book review video of the books I've read. And so this is it. This is like a wrap-up of things that I'm happy about, or things that are major in my life for the past year. I do hope 2023 is going to be better, but I'm also trying to just do it like one day at a time, like just try to do my best every day instead of setting massive goals at the beginning of the year and then just feel like, oh, I won't be able to do that, it's too big goal and things like that. So, but yeah, thank you so much for being on this journey with me for the whole of 2022. You know, when I was looking back at the videos I did about like my deadline submissions, and then about graduating and then getting a new job, it's just like, thank you so much for being on this journey with me, and I hope there's more for me to share with you in 2023.